WCCB News Edge with Morgan Fogarty and Rance Adams starts now.
That makes me hungry.
No.
Comfort foods are those special dishes that we usually reserve for times when we need a little emotional boost in the form of something fattening. They're never good for you physically, but they reach you on an emotional level. Something that one woman took to the extreme after a recent breakup. This is The Edge. I'm Morgan Fogarty.
And I'm Rance Adams. Her food of choice? KFC. KFC's wings, to be precise. The woman, a 26-year-old in China, recently broke up with her boyfriend and was moping around her neighborhood when suddenly there it was, in all its glory. That image of Colonel Sanders smiling down from his red and white bucket of love. She decided that KFC's wings were the only thing that could make her feel better. So she went in and ordered some.
But instead of taking them back to her apartment and all the miserable memories there, she sat down and stayed for a week. Since it was a 24-hour joint, she even called in sick to work day in and day out just eating chicken wings, KFC's wings. The only thing that made her feel better until she got so sick of them that she left. But everybody has that one particular food or restaurant that we use as a crutch when our mental state has a case of the munchies.
So our man on the edge, Robert Wilder, hit the streets asking what comfort food or restaurant could you eat for a week?
Oh, I'd have to say hamburgers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They're cheesy, they're yummy, you bite into them, the meat juicy, why not? They're the best.
Love it. God, that sounds good.
Has to be chicken.
Okay.
Like fried chicken definitely has to be like a comfort food, especially moving down south. You know, you find that everywhere.
We have it best down here.
Yeah, it is.
First thing that hits my head is mac and cheese and meatloaf.
Oh, my God.
And I've had them both combined.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, it was delicious.
Spicy meatloaf.
With mac and cheese inside. Oh, yeah.
Oh, inside? Mac and cheese inside?
Inside.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was probably the best comfort food I can think of.
Comfort food? I always go for Mexican burritos. Just shove your face in a burrito.
Yeah. Why is that? What makes that a comfort food for you?
I don't know, honestly.
Comforting.
I think I'm just used to eating it when I'm upset.
What, in your opinion, is the best all-time greatest comfort food?
Chicken and dumplings.
Delicious. You said that very quickly.
Easy.
Why? What makes that such a good comfort food?
It's just the savory, the carbs.
Feels like a hug.
Right.
We're taking your tweets and posts live on air right now. What's the comfort food or restaurant you'd be able to eat for a week?
Oh my gosh, reading all of your tweets and your Facebook posts making me hungry. Jamie says Epic Chop House or Mickey and Mooch. Randy Burgess says, I love home cooking. A lot of people would probably agree with that. Maybe like your mama or your grandma's whatever dish.
Mama's fried pork chops. But I couldn't eat anything for a week. I'm like that. Like, I know people that can't eat leftovers at all.
Oh,
like,
I love leftovers.
At all. And I'm the type, it's like, I'll eat leftovers, but I'm only good for like 2 meals, maybe 3 meals in a row, and then after that I'm like, I need some variety.
No, see, I get stuck on something and I will eat it until I get sick of it. So I could totally do something for a week. It wouldn't be KFC. It would either be Cold Stone Creamery, the birthday cake remix. I could eat that for a week, no problem. Try me, please. Or Cantina 1511, their queso and chips. Forget about it.
Oh, well, back home there was this stuff we had, it was queso fundido. Oh, it's like this white cheese mix with like chorizo and all that. But I still couldn't eat it for a week straight for every meal. And if this lady spent a week in the restaurant, I hope she went home and showered once in a while. I mean, come on.
I wondered the same thing. DeKoven says Godfather's Pizza. Lewis Bennett says the White Horse in Rock Hill. I've heard a lot of good things about that place. I think I've been there once or twice. Buster Moore says Texas Roadhouse Ribs. Interesting. Okay.
I'd want to go somewhere with a buffet so I could have some variety. Because, I mean, if you go into KFC, it's chicken, chicken, chicken. Although Reed did find this.
It's also potato wedges, mashed potatoes, and green beans.
Reed found this place in a KFC in China where they have this double sizzler, double down. You know, it's the chicken with, but it's chicken with bacon and a burger patty. And I'm like, I might have to go to there. Again, the question of the night, what's the comfort food or restaurant you'd be willing to eat for a week? Facebook or tweet it.
Now everybody's hungry, and now we're going to make you not hungry. Just when the American Ebola stuff looked like it was over, A Doctors Without Borders physician who returned from West Africa 10 days ago has been diagnosed with the disease at a New York hospital. He developed symptoms last night and had not quarantined himself after coming back.
Awesome.
And also, late reports tonight are showing that he rode a couple different subway lines in New York within the past few days, specifically yesterday, I believe. And he also went to a bowling alley and played a game and may have eaten at a restaurant. However, it's important to remember he didn't start showing symptoms until I want to say early today.
Looks like the 10-cent gas price drop is going to happen before Ebola drops out of the news.
And Ebola is typically what the experts are saying, if you want to take what they say as legitimate, is that Ebola is not contagious until you are showing symptoms.
Okay.
So fingers crossed. Oh, he also may have ridden in a cab. I just remembered that too.
Oh my gosh. It looks like the situation in Canada is under control as of today. Investigators think the gunman acted alone, although the Prime Minister is still calling it terrorism, which doesn't diminish the tragedy, but does give some sense of relief that it wasn't part of a larger movement.
Absolutely. It does give relief that this guy was not part of a larger movement. His father came out and spoke at length today, saying that he has mental illness.
Drug issues, had been estranged from the family for 5 years. So, I mean...
Even his mom came out today, and she issued a briefer statement, but said, at this point, I can't understand why he did this, and there's a part of me that wants to hate my own son for doing this.
Ouch.
There's a handful of other interesting topics we can tackle tonight.
Reed, wind it up for Edge on the Clock.
Well, guys, demanding a tuition-free models and in-state tuition for undocumented students, that's what college kids are demanding at UNCC. Of course, these college kids probably aren't even paying their own way through school, so at what point should your opinion count?
Well, their parents are helping them. If you want to go with Reed's argument that the kids aren't paying their own way through school, we don't know. There are plenty of kids who do pay their own way through school, or they get scholarships. Hey, this is America. Everybody's opinion counts, right?
But kudos, because these kids are thinking outside of the box. They're doing representation. They're not just being sheep and going along with whatever. They're like, we want our voices heard. We're stepping out, and we're doing it in a peaceful manner.
Yeah. And it has a lot to do. I mean, there are a lot of issues that they're protesting. Library hours that have been cut and some other things. But, yeah, and some folks are saying they need to get on the board if they want to make a real change, go to some meetings.
Another I didn't know I was pregnant until I gave birth story, this time in Wales, where a 24-year-old woman thought her labor pain was a kidney infection. What gives with these women?
And those women were not the women that we're talking about.
No, there's no picture of her.
Evidently, she didn't ever show a bump. She never had morning sickness. What?
It happens. It happens. I interviewed a woman maybe a year ago who this happened to. She had no idea. Doctors told her she couldn't get pregnant, so she didn't even think about it. And other things can happen throughout the 9 months that you carry a baby where you think, there's no reason to think I'm pregnant.
For real. And I mean, we've got women, you know, they say that later as you get in age, it's harder to get pregnant, but we've got a lot of 40-year-old women having babies.
John Lennon joins the ranks of celebrities with a newly discovered species named after him. Unfortunately, it's a tarantula. And the researcher says that he just got tired of waiting for anything better to come along. So, guys, what species of thing would you want named after you?
And that was real video of the actual tarantula.
The actual John Lennon spider, yeah.
There's a breed, not a species. There's a breed of horse called the Morgan horse, and I love horses, so I'm proud to associate with that.
That's cool though, but like this spider, it's like some weird name, like something Lenini or something. Nobody knows that's named after John Lennon. I want a burger or something named after me. Yeah.
What about like a shark?
No, what? Who cares? Nobody's going to know the shark's name when you give it
I would want a shark named after me.
An amazing crossover battle in Hollywood where Mr. Incredible got into a knockdown, drag-out fight with Catwoman. It took Chewbacca, Spider-Man, Freddy Krueger, and Waldo to pull them all apart. So what two characters from any movie, book, or game would you want to see duke it out?
Wonder Woman and Batgirl. Or
what
Supergirl.
About Catwoman?
Or, hey, whatever. You put superhero woman, I'm there. I will watch it. And I think most of the guys on the crew would agree with me.
So basically, you just want to see women fighting.
Hey, you know.
Does it matter if they're superheroes?
Well, yeah, because, you know, you want to see some superpowers and it all forms together. Because I've seen some girls fight, and it's not always a pretty thing. They start pulling out the earrings. It's about to be a battle, people. One more story to squeeze in this block. Cigarette manufacturer R.J. Reynolds saying you can't smoke in its Winston-Salem headquarter buildings anymore, other than some designated smoking areas. They say it's to help accommodate visitors and non-smoking workers. But still, is this a good look?
Well, I mean, it is a good look. I think that it's an interesting decision coming from a cigarette manufacturer.
We manufacture cigarettes, but we don't want you smoking anywhere near our building. Seems kind of...
They provide areas where you can smoke, but yes, they have now limited those areas where you can smoke.
We work at WCCB, but we don't want you watching we don't want you guys watching this station. Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
I mean, everybody knows cigarettes are terrible for you, so it's not like it's surprising.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Coming up later in the show, I'm diving into the mind of Mencia. Comedian Carlos Mencia is playing the Comedy Zone in Charlotte this weekend, but he's chatting with us first on The Edge.
Woohoo! But before that, the president has created a new Ebola rapid response team, but they need a cool name like SWAT has. So think about it, spell it out, and Facebook or tweet it, and we'll share your ideas live as The Edge rolls on.
New federal Ebola response squads are already being deployed to cities where potential new Ebola cases are being identified, like New York.
The president said last week there was a need for Ebola rapid response teams, like special weapons and tactics teams, but they get the name SWAT, and Ebola rapid response teams would get ERT, which is not cool. It sounds like a noise. So we posted on Facebook asking you guys for a better acronym.
Here's a little of what we got. Richard gave us Central Response to Aid People, or CRAP.
Jessica had Federal Response to Ebola and Kind Souls, Freaks.
Chris had Patriotic Ebola National Incident Squad, and you can figure that one out for yourself.
Mark Santiago on my Facebook page wrote Interventional National Ebola Protection Team, which is inept. I like that one. I like that one.
That one's really good.
I had a couple that were not as good and just sort of stupid. Dangerous Ebola Response Team, DIRT.
Nah. Mine was Central Response Ebola Eradication Program, CREEP.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Up next, the hilarious Carlos Mencia.
Well, he's weighing in on our comfort food topic. Stay with us. What about the Ebola Action Team?
Ooh.
Teat. Teat.
The OD. What would your comfort food of choice be on a breakup?
You know what? For me, comfort food, I swear to God, I would imagine that at the saddest I've ever been, the thing that made me the happiest was Waffle House, 3 scrambled eggs with cheese, raisin toast, grits, and hash browns all the way without gravy.
At Waffle House?
At Waffle House, man.
Where Large Marge is serving you?
Yes, man, because you know what? Nothing puts life in perspective better than a happy waitress missing teeth. When somebody is missing teeth, bro, and yet they find a way to smile at you genuinely while asking you at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning in a Waffle House on a Saturday filled with drunks, I can't imagine how crappy they get tipped. And yet they're still welcome to Waffle House, baby. What you want? I want pancakes. Oh, we don't say the P word around here. It's just, oh, man, there's something really beautiful about that. And then you're going to give me, like, cheesy, just, oh, and they put so much cheese on those eggs. Oh, God. And then the hash browns with the chili and, oh.
All right, I guess we're making a run after this. You can catch Carlos Mencia at the Comedy Zone through Saturday. Get tickets at cltcomedyzone.com or by calling 980-321-4702. And you can see that full interview on our WCCB web channel. QC Scene. There's more Edge coming up, including the forecast when we come back.
But right now, it's your last chance for today's headlines. One person is dead after being hit by a train in Uptown. That around 7:30 tonight. There's no word yet on the circumstances or the victim's name. We do know they were walking on the track. Testimony is set to begin tomorrow in the fraud trial for the adoptive father of missing Salisbury teen Erica Parsons. Sandy Parsons is accused of continuing to collect Erica's Medicaid and food stamps after she disappeared in 2011. And at least 25 more women have been abducted by Boko Haram just 1 week after an alleged agreement to release hundreds of kidnapped girls. Reg will have your last chance forecast next.